Hi, everybody.
How's it going?
How's it going, Grim?
I'm doing all right. You?
I'm doing great. Great on this Friday, anyway.
For Friday, yeah.
Yeah, for a Friday. Trying to fix my camera there for a moment. Ah, hold on. Well, I said I was gonna fix it. Let me try
Now you
this, y'all.
broke
Hold
it.
on. And then I broke it. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it this way. There we go.
Hey, Izzy.
Sorry, people. You cute. What are
Izzy
you,
says
Steve?
hi. HD Izzy. I
Steve.
think that's how you say it.
Hi, Dizzle.
Oh, Dizzle. Okay.
How are you? Hold on just a minute, you guys. There we go. Hold on, y'all. I got a mic for just.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to mute. Um, so me and Grim were talking behind the scenes a little bit. Let me roll up a little bit, and we were wanted to just kind of talk about the weekend, talk about what's coming up, talk about a couple of cryptids. Um, but first and foremost, there is a raffle going on. Posted a picture on my community tab that you can see a picture of the keychains. Tickets are $1 a piece. I don't know how many people plan on participating. Like I said, it's just $1. If you want to just, throw in a buck, you can buy as many tickets as you want. And the money is going to go towards paying for StreamYard Premium. That way, me and Grim don't worry about running out of hours to our Misfit show. And I have on there the information where you can either cash at me or PayPal me your ticket money as long as you put, raffle tickets or ticket money or something like that in the message. That way I know to write your name down and how many tickets you bought. And I'm probably going to let this go. I think, Grim, we decided maybe a week.
Yeah, week.
So
Yeah.
probably next Friday we'll decide. And sorry about the noise. Kipper's been working on his dad's car, and my two dogs are here. The front door is wide open. It's kind of cloudy. It's not really sunny today. So if you hear any background noise, I apologize, but that's life. It is what it is right now. My life is happiness and chaotic all at the same time. But like I said, if you want to participate, the keychains are handmade. Kipper, my nephew, has made them himself. They're made of resin. Um, and they'll be easy to ship. So I'll pay shipping myself, so you don't have to worry about that. Um, but like I said, the raffle money is just going to help us pay for StreamYard Premium and little odds and end things like that. So Grim, what are your plans for the weekend?
All depends on how my girlfriend's kids act. If I'm gonna go or be here all weekend.
Yeah.
They have a tendency of acting up,
Oh.
and not always in the best of manners, but they act up sometimes, and it causes some issues.
Yeah.
And if they act up anymore this today, she was gonna come and get me. She's supposed to let me know, so I'm gonna give her a call when she gets up from her nap.
Oh,
See
okay.
if she's want me to come or not.
Mhm. Well,
But
that's
about
good.
it. Other than that, I'll
Hopefully,
just be here. Nothing.
yeah. Hopefully, you get to go and spend some time with her.
Well, I mean, I'm not a. We made this thing is that I'm only usually there on every other weekend unless she needs me.
Yeah.
So
Hey, whatever works for y'all. I
yeah,
mean, that's the way mine's going. Whatever the way it works, it works. And
there
just
you
deal
go.
with it. Um, I've got my sister's working a double shift today and tonight. So I'm going to have my two little nephews pretty much all night with me. So that's why we have decided to do the lunch live stream instead of a live stream later. Plus, to be honest with you, we don't feel like beating and hopping around through the crowds on
Yeah,
YouTube. So we decided to go ahead, just do a lunch stream, be done with it. Now I know we were talking about cryptids a while ago.
yeah.
Which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with the one that everybody talks about.
Dogman.
Yeah, about as popular as Sony PlayStation.
Well, okay, Dogman. I know everybody knows that I've had an experience with Dogman. I'm pretty sure everybody's heard my story by now. I do share it with my ex, but everybody's heard our story. However, have you ever experienced Dogman, Grim?
No, no, I've never experienced anything, but I've read multiple accounts. I've
Hmm.
multiple accounts. Never experienced it personally.
Yeah,
Knowing me, I'd be one instead of running, I'd be the person standing there staring at it.
gotcha.
I don't get scared. I'm really almost fearless. But I know when I need to get.
Dizzle wants to know, do y'all know if Dogman is in Indiana? I have heard basically Dogman being, if it's in the United States besides Hawaii and Alaska, and I'm not even saying they're not, I've heard it everywhere but there. There are hundreds and hundreds of stories, I think, out of every state. You just have to dig and find the stories. But there's pretty much a Dogman or a Bigfoot story everywhere in the US of some sort, anyway, or some sort of encounter, or some sort of altercation, some sort of something that has to do with them. Um, Dogman, for me, what I encountered and what I witnessed though, was something that took me a long time to wrap my head around. It it took me a long time, and I researched and researched and researched what could it have been before I came upon um the the term Dogman and the descriptions that I'd come across. I had researched and researched. I had never heard of a Dogman before, ever seeing one. I'd never heard of one. I'd never seen one. It I knew nothing about them. Absolutely nothing. But now, let's be honest, it seems like everybody and their mama has seen one.
Yeah, they seem to be more and more frequent. And I think half the time, the people that we know of are just telling fabricated stories.
I do think there are, I'm not necessarily saying they are. I think that there are people out there making up stories just to have a story told on somebody's show. And I think a lot of people are being duped by a lot of them because that's a lot. There's a lot of Dogman encounters that I really don't think they're true. I'm not saying every single one of them because I know mine is true, but there's some that are just so outrageously extravagant that I can't put faith in it and say that I believe it or not because most of them I don't, and I don't understand how some of these channels can pop out content left and right about them.
Yeah, if it's such an a common thing now, why are we not
Mhm.
seeing it on Main Street?
Exactly, exactly.
Why are we not seeing dogmen go down someone's backyard and attacking people in their front yards now during broad daylight?
I mean, I
Apparently, it's
get
becoming.
exactly what you're saying. I get it. I don't know. To me, there's too much mud in the water. you have to kind of wade through it and pick and choose what you think is real and what you don't, because there's so much information, and I don't want to say misinformation because technically they haven't been scientifically proven, so we don't know what actual is fact based and what's not fact based.
This is true.
I mean, so we can't say it's misinformation. It's just going by word of mouth. But there's so freaking many encounters now that why isn't one driving a freaking car pulling up in Walmart parking lot at this point?
Yeah.
It's a little much.
Yeah, you're right, Dizzy. You do gotta you gotta use your discernment. You do,
I agree.
because you take these stories, all of them, as truth. Then I got a bridge in California I can sell you.
Yeah. I mean, oh, hold on. I'm having a freaking y'all. If y'all only knew how I had my camera propped up, my phone is what I'm using. If y'all only knew how I had it propped up, it's on one, two, three, four, five books, a carton of cigarettes, and a keychain. It is
You
what it is.
definitely need to get your phone holder.
I know, I know, I know. I just it every time I go to order something, it slips my mind. I never think about it.
There's where my girlfriend got hers. It's called. There's an app, not sponsored, called
Yeah,
Teaming.
yeah. I love that. That's where I order a lot of my stuff from. I order a lot. Actually, I got a shipment in yesterday of some stuff for my nephew.
Oh, Dizzy, that's funny. That's funny. She said, "Right," and I got
Mhm.
a Lamborghini and a mansion at that point.
Right? But
Getting
getting
back
back
on the
to dog
subject
man.
of Dogman,
Okay, let's go over some qualities and characteristics that we know dogman has.
yeah,
I've heard some say they're very hairy, like a werewolf, and what I've seen, what I remember seeing, which is still kind of fuzzy now because I have trouble remembering a lot of things after my surgeries. But what I can remember is I don't remember it being as hairy as some people are claiming Dogman to be. I just don't.
so what color? I don't remember your account, but what color was its fur?
The what I remember, all I remember was seeing black, like a dark gray, brownish black. It was just so dark colored, but you could see that like the moon would shine on the muscles, and you could literally see the configuration of the muscles on this being. It was
This, to me, what you
out of this
described
world.
sounds more to me of a werewolf.
No, I don't think so. Everything that I've researched about a werewolf, this was not a werewolf. This was literally something dogman. That's all I can say. It had to have been a dogman.
Well, I say
I did.
werewolf because in Skyrim,
Mm,
that is similar to what when you see one or when you turn into one, or what one looks like.
yeah,
It's got hair up here, but everywhere else is hairless. It's all black.
yeah,
That's the only reason I said werewolf, because that's what makes me think when you described it as mostly black.
yeah,
And from what I've heard, I've seen that movie Dog Soldier,
yeah. I have to.
and that to me, because Vault said that's as close as you can get to one TV wise. Then there was that movie, what was it, Underworld?
Hmm.
It got closer. The werewolves did,
Yeah,
and the thing is that the myth of werewolf and the legend of Dogman, they're kind of similar in a way. The thing
yeah,
is that the myth of the werewolf started with King Lycan.
yeah.
that was, I think that was Greece. He turned into a dog,
Yeah.
a wolf, of because he had I think it was Zeus eat a child or something like that. I think that's what it was about. I might be wrong, but that's what I believe is true because I've
Yeah.
read it and I've heard about it in History Channel. Then I went back and read it and said the same thing as a child.
I've heard a
And
lot of dog men, people claiming dog men, migration and that they move this way and that way and travel here and there. And I'm not saying they don't. It's not that I don't agree with
yeah,
that at all. It's just that for there to be so many sightings at one time in so many states at one time,
yeah,
I don't think the migration pattern is what people think it is. Because if they were migrating, it would go from state to state, back to, here to there, back to A and
yeah,
B, C, like that. But this is getting to where it's like a constant, everyday 300 dogman stories pop up.
yeah. And you can't discern which is true.
No, you can't.
It all's like, well, I was in the woods, I was hunting with my buddy, or I was hunting with my son, or I was hunting with my wife.
Yeah,
They never tell you what day, what time of month it was, because you can only go hunting in the woods for deer certain times of the year. It's usually fall. I do believe it's fall.
yeah,
You can only go hunting during fall for deer with a gun, and
yeah,
then you gotta have a permit, and then there's the whole hunting with bows. You gotta have a permit. I know, at least in Arkansas, you gotta have a permit, and you can only go hunting with a bow certain here in Arkansas that I know of.
yeah.
And I don't know about other states, but October, it seems to be October and December is when you can go hunt for deer. Because my uncle, I know this because my uncle's an avid hunter. He usually,
Yeah.
well, November as well. But those are only 3 months of the year that you can go hunting.
I mean, I can understand more people that hunt have more stories because they're in the woods more. They see more.
Yeah.
They're closer to it, and I understand that. But I mean, come on now. Dog Man was eating the trash out of the back alley in the middle of the city type of stories.
So that someone's bullshitting you.
Yeah, I can't. It's things like that that I just have to shake my head at. Not saying they're lying, not saying it's not true.
You
I
gotta
don't
take
know.
it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I can't. I'd rather just shut that video out and watch something else.
Yeah, Dizzle has something to say on this subject, and I'm gonna read it. Hopefully, I get it correct. Especially when people are putting out cash for stories, people are so good at lying. Like they watch the stories online and they know how to use these images. Yeah, you're right. They do. It's the same. Half the time, describing the creature is the same, and
And
you
some
know
of them
when.
get so far outlandish
Yeah,
when trying to describe Dogman. They get so extravagant and so extreme and exaggerated that it's like, come on now, that you're making it into a cartoon character.
yeah,
Supposedly, along with we'll classify Bigfoot, Loch Ness monster, and Dogman and Chupacabra. We'll just classify them all in one group real quick. If you're considering these things being flesh and blood, then don't have them being a super
bulletproof.
animal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They're flesh and blood.
I mean, many accounts that I've heard online from a person who be nameless, but we know who we're
Hmm.
talking about. They're bulletproof. Guns don't guns don't hurt them. fully automatic guns, why would you be hunting with a full auto? Don't hurt them. Yet, then there's some stories that say they shot them and they heard a howl. They killed one of them. They went back, the body was missing. You give these things credit to the point where they're superhuman smart.
Right.
When they're supposed to be an animal. Yes, animals learn, but not like humans.
Yeah, and humans are supposed to be the number one top predator of the food chain.
Yeah.
And here we have supposedly Dogman and Bigfoot, who basically, the way everybody puts it, outranks us.
Yeah, but they don't live in cities. They don't live in buildings. They live in caves. They cannot communicate vocally like we can.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be as round as long as humans have been around. And they still cannot communicate like we can.
Yeah. I don't
Even
know.
though they've heard us speak, do they not have vocal cords? Of course they do. Or they wouldn't be able to howl or grunt or moan.
Yeah.
Unless they link telepathically, which that would make them smarter than us, but yet we're the only group that can communicate vocally.
Kaya, no. Stop. She's over here trying to eat her new dog bed. What a puppy.
But, like you said, we're supposed to be at the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
Because we can think. We have weapons. We have brains. And yet these things are outmaneuvering us. They know exactly where. Well, I can see knowing where we're at because their sense of smell. They would be like a wolf's sensitive.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like I said, it's not that I don't believe in Dogman. Of course I do, because I know what I've seen. I know what I witnessed and I know what I went through. But it's just recently, the other night I was up all night and I just decided, well, let me go to YouTube and see what everybody's been doing, you know? And I do mean everybody in the community. I mean everybody. People that, certain groups don't watch. And I just went through the whole shit shebang and caboodle about it. And I was sitting there looking, it was just Dogman, 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 over and over and over and over. And I'm like, what happened to Bigfoot? What happened to, like you said earlier to me, El Chupacabra? What happened to all this stuff? Why is Dogman such a hot freaking topic when it's just as elusive as Bigfoot?
Exactly.
Bigfoot's just as dangerous,
or more so.
if not exactly. And I just was wondering, like, if there's so many of these Dogman stories and so many of these Dogman sightings, and Dogman is a new phenomenon. UFOs, for the UFO phenomenon didn't start until 1947. The Bigfoot phenomenon, I can't exactly remember where it started, even though there's been people that trace back Dogman, Bigfoot to this culture and that culture and blah blah blah. If that's what you want to believe, that's fine. But the Dogman phenomenon is not, it's not that old. It's a fairly new thing. It's a fairly new concept. Well, with that being said, though, how are there so many freaking stories about Dogman, but there's not a body, there's not evidence, and almost every damn story sounds the same?
Shot it, killed it.
Never found.
And why is it getting them? You brought up the UFOs. Why is it every UFO sighting, every bit of it, every one of them's blurry as hell?
Thank you. I don't know.
Same thing with Dogman. Why is every Dogman camera shot so bad, so blurry? Why is it that every Bigfoot in this modern day, this modern era, our cameras can shoot perfect video, take perfect pictures, almost. And
Yep.
why is it every one of these damn videos, when these damn camera pictures of Dogman, of Bigfoot, of aliens, of even Chupacabra, blurry as hell?
I don't know. I don't get it.
And it's
I
like, well,
mean,
and
and I understand them in movement, and if there's movement as you're taking a picture, it will distort the picture. I understand that. However, these, like you said, are just plain damn blurry.
still pictures. They're still the thing's standing there still. It's not moving.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I really don't. Now, do I have a picture of any? No. Have I ever taken a picture of one? No.
No.
Am I going to? Probably not. But it's just like you said, though, every single one of them is blurry. Now, are these things having like an electromagnetic field to them that are causing the images to be blurry? Or are these people that are taking images
Are
to
doing it on
make it
purpose.
look like something that's not actually
Not
there?
there. That's my thing. Is that you're out in the open. The creature's right there. You take a picture. Why is it that the thing standing still, you take that picture? Why is that creature blurry? Oh, it's about 10 feet from us. Then why the hell is the picture blurry?
Yeah,
Oh, you forgot to zoom in? Really?
I get it. I get it. I really do.
It's to me, it's bullshit. These people just
Yeah.
want the attention.
A lot of them do. Now, you have some people, I'm not going to name any names, but there's some people that I'm close to that do have evidence that they won't release and show for the simple fact of, and I've seen the evidence myself, but they won't release it for fear of the backlash. And I understand that too. I understand because people are very judgmental and are very critical about what it is. But if you think you have a picture and you do post it, be prepared for some constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Period. It's going to happen regardless if it's a clear one or not. It's going to happen. You're always going to have somebody to disagree with you.
No
Absolutely.
matter what you do, no matter how clear the picture is, you're always going to have people say it ain't real, but yet you can take the video evidence to
Hmm.
someone who knows how to work that type of stuff. And they say that no, there's no editing, there's nothing done to this picture. And there's still going to be people who dispute. Even it's been said, and I'll tell you the truth. If they ever find a body of Dogman or Bigfoot or whatever, there'll be people trying to say, no, that ain't it. It don't look like that.
Yep.
Well, hell, the thing's been dead for 2 weeks. You expect it to be freaking like it wasn't
Right.
alive?
Right.
Or it's
It's
been
not going
dead
to
for
be
a month. You expect
consumed.
it to be
It's
like it was
not.
alive? And then there's like, if you get like you get a hair sample of something or something like that, a Bigfoot, Dogman, whatever it is, you ever notice there's no roots to it? It's always no roots. It's always just the top
Yeah.
part.
Just
Like
that.
if I was
Yeah.
hand, it'd be like that's all that's there. There's no root. You can't do DNA test on it. There's no root.
Yeah.
So there's no real telling if it's true or false. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it's Bigfoot or whoever. If there's no root of any hair, even like say I cut my hair, they can't do a DNA test because it's just there's no root there. So no one's gonna say that, yeah, it is. Can't prove it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do
like
I
I said,
think these things exist? Absolutely. Do I think that Bigfoot exists? Absolutely. Do I think all this? Yes. However, I just don't think all these stories are true.
I'm with you. I
I
mean,
really I really don't. I think some people are looking for their 5 minutes of fame on a stream and that's it.
mhm, that's true. Now I'm going to tell you this. In Nepal, up in the mountains,
Mm,
there is supposed to be a monk that has a Yeti's hand. Well, back in early 2000s, the Monster Quest went up there and got a sample of it, and it was of an ape. The
yeah.
DNA was of an ape. It was just been there for but it was ape. There are no apes up there in those mountains. There hadn't been for years. And everybody believes that a Yeti or Bigfoot is what? An ape like creature.
Yeah.
So they couldn't prove it was a Yeti but they could prove that it was an ape. Which that's what they believe Bigfoot or Yeti
Yeah.
is an ape. So
Yeah.
they proved it, but then again they didn't prove it.
True. I see your point. And for those listening, y'all have to understand these are just mine and Grimm's opinions and thoughts on things. And if yours differs from ours, that's fine too. And sometimes me and Grim disagree on things.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to believe the same thing. But I just find the whole dogman phenomenon. It's not that I find it fascinating. I'm to the point where I'm tired.
Tired of hearing it.
It's tiring. Now Bigfoot, I get. I really do. I get it because there's so much more evidence of Bigfoot out there than there are of Dogman.
Yeah, there's film footage going back
Pictures,
to the film footage.
and there's
Um,
pictures, and there are some really good pictures out there that I've seen, and know people that have some really good footage, video and still pictures that I've seen that are of a Sasquatch. It's not deniable. However, I even the stories of Bigfoot and Sasquatch do not compare to those of Dogman. But yet Dogman has way less evidence than a Sasquatch does.
yeah,
And if Dogmen have been around for so long, as some people want to claim they have, then why isn't there a background just like there is for the Sasquatch?
yeah. They're elusive. They're in the woods. I mean, hell, the Banshees in Ireland and Scotland, yet you don't see a lot of them.
Speaking of banshees, I have a banshee story. I was working at a metaphysical shop, and we were all standing out in the alley one night. This is kind of goes along with when I seen a fairy, and it was a different night though, and we were all standing out there, and you literally, it was about 1:30 a.m. in the morning, and it was during, I don't know if it was during spring, summer, or fall. I can't remember, but I know it wasn't wintertime because it wasn't that cold yet. I think it was during summer or spring. I think it was during spring because college was still intact. So I think it was spring. And we literally heard a banshee. And you could tell this was a banshee. That you could tell very distinctively this was a banshee. And not only did we hear it once, we heard it twice the same night. And the place that I worked at was basically in the middle of town. The college was not too far from it. It was basically in the downtown district where, the courthouse is, the district attorney is, the cafes, the things like that, the bank. But we just happened to be standing in the back alley. It's kind of where we hung out at night. And we literally heard a banshee. Now, granted, the building right next to the building that we were in was haunted. Nobody
Okay.
would rent the space. Nobody would turn it to anything. It to this day, from what I understand, it's still empty. Um, it's just it was one of the original buildings from the town when it was built, and in between that building and the metaphysical building, there was an empty lot where people had built a little smaller building that had turned into a tattoo parlor, and we were literally behind the tattoo parlor and the metaphysical shop, and we were looking at a brick wall where one of the original buildings had burned down. That's where I was getting a lot of my red brick dust from to use in a lot of spell work and for the metaphysical shop because it had a lot of energy and a lot of power from it.
Yeah.
And like I said, we were out there that night, and I think we had just gathered some red brick dust, to be honest with you. And lo and behold, we heard a banshee, and we all looked at each other and was like, "Oh shit!" Because the lore of a banshee is if you hear a banshee hollering, someone you know is going to pass away.
Mm-hmm.
But not any that I know of did. I don't. Nobody in my family or friends passed away. But I will say this: there was a town slaying a couple of days after that. I didn't know the people directly
Mm-hmm.
until after the fact. I actually knew who the murderer was when they figured out who done it. I knew who he was. So I don't know if the banshee was a warning to the town because it could be heard throughout the downtown district. I don't know if the banshee was warning of the massive slaying to come or what was going on. But
Hmm.
I have had a banshee encounter. Did I see it? No. But did I hear it? Yes. And you could clearly tell it was a banshee. There was no mistaking it.
Well, from what I understood about the Banshee myth, is that they it was a curse upon two families,
Hmm.
the Mix and the Max. They were cursed upon those two families. And then after that part kind of died off, they grew out
Yeah.
where it started not killing anybody, but it appear as an old lady, an elderly woman, or the most beautiful woman you ever did see.
Yeah.
And usually, if it appeared as an old lady, it'd be in the river. Remember when I remember one that I read. One of the men went down to the river. He saw this old lady washing bloody clothes. The water was red, and it told him that you would. I think it was him or someone else that would die that day.
Oh.
And he left, and I'm not sure. I think it was him or someone else who died.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. So they will appear, and then there was an account of it appearing to someone who, as a very beautiful woman, very beautiful, and he approached her, and she did the same thing as the elderly lady did to someone else. That either it was him or someone else would die that day. Usually, it's the person they meet that would die, or someone in their family that would die.
Hey
So,
Carla, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. Um.
and the scream is if it has to do with more of a wider berth, more than one person doing it,
Yeah.
that's when it will do that. If more than one person will die that night in a certain family, it's when they'll do that. It's not
Yeah.
always the scream that people hear, though.
Hmm.
But that's the myth of the banshee that, from my research that I've done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know a while ago you were telling me you know about a lot about El Chupacabra. What's the myth behind it?
Well, when I was doing my research for that, I came across that there have been a lot of sightings near the western and southern borders of the United States, around
Mm-hmm.
Texas, Arizona, and such. And it got to where they had done tests on, they found an actual body of a chupacabra, or what they thought was a chupacabra.
Yeah.
And they said it was a canine-ish type of animal, but they couldn't tell what breed it was. There's no way of
Yeah.
determining what breed. And it had its canines, unlike a normal canine. Its fangs were elongated. Its canines were to
Mm-hmm.
when it went down to here. And I do say basically they were hollow. They found an entire body one, and it was at a skull and everything, and the canines were hollow.
Yeah.
And so it had died of the mange, is what they said. This one had. No one shot it, but it died of the mange. As we know, with canines do get that.
Yeah.
They did say on Monster Quest, they said they did find one as well. It was supposedly a mixture of a coyote and a wolf. And that's not something that normally happens in nature,
Mm-hmm.
but it does happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I said, there's the myth of it started, of course, in Mexico, which chupacabra means goat sucker.
Yeah.
And the reason why it got that name is because the one that they found or saw, it was draining the blood of a goat, or a goat would appear dead, and they'd blame it on the
Yeah.
chupacabra.
Well, I was at the Mexican restaurant yesterday, and we were sitting there eating, and there's a guy that always comes and talks to my mother and talks to us and checks on me and stuff like that. And his name's Victor. And Victor overheard us talking about El Chupacabra, and he went into literally his whole demeanor changed, and he went into this rant of how it's a demon on Earth that his family believes that El Chupacabras are demons. They're like kind of like hellhounds, but not.
Okay.
That they are demons that have taken the form have tried to take the form of a hellhound and or dog, and end up being what they are, and that's why they survive on the life force of blood of other animals, because that's the only way they could survive on this earth, because they can't eat anything but blood or bloody meat.
It would make sense.
And his whole family, like I said, his whole family's from Mexico, and he said his whole family believes in it and has witnessed it, has seen one. They own a ranch, the whole 9 yards. But when he was talking about it, his whole demeanor changed. He got
So he
so
really
serious.
has a belief in that it is a demon.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, it goes to show you that there are so many things that are from Greek mythology, period. Little did people know that the Gorgons was a race of Medusa had 3 sisters.
Yes.
Well, there was 3 sisters. Medusa, and there was 2 others. Not many people know this. Because
Yeah.
Medusa's the most famous of the 3 sisters.
Yeah.
And not many people know this, but Medusa had children.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't humanoid in any way that I know of.
Yeah.
But Greek myth is, if people want to know, if people would remember, there's always a fact, a little factoid in the myth.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do I believe that Medusa was an actual person? Yes, I do. Do I believe that she was raped by Poseidon? No. Do I believe she was raped in the temple? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I believe she was raped by someone in the temple. Now, would it be Poseidon? No, doubtful, because we both know that the Greek gods are, like everything else, a myth.
Yeah.
And do I believe she was turned into a snake? No, but do I believe that she was cast out of the temple? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But that's just, you know, because there's other ways to turn people to stone.
Yeah.
You can look at someone dead in the eyes and make them still as stone.
Yeah.
Are they stone? No. And there's a bunch of stuff in Greek, and the Greeks did about people when they cast you out, they cast you out.
Yeah.
Basically, you were shooed out of the community and everything.
Done.
So I did a little bit more research on that. Now, like I said, do I believe she existed? Yes, I do believe Medusa existed. Do I believe she was turned into a snake? Half snake, half human? No.
Yeah.
Do I believe she was cast out to live on an island? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that she was raped in a temple. That's what, that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the snippet of truth. That's in.
Okay. Well, since we're going on about 46 minutes now, let's wrap it up. What do you have coming next on your channel?
Well, I won't really go too far into it, but what's coming up next is a 3-part series.
Okay.
I'm gonna start doing all mine 3-part series. It makes it where I can look up multiple things and do 3 things on it, because you go and need more than 10 minutes on YouTube now, unless you can really capture somebody's attention.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose their view. That's just from my experience. And you know me, I've always did you can watch mine on your lunch hour and still have time to eat. What about you?
I did a occult series video today on Carl Jung, and then my next one is going to be on cosmicism. So, and if anybody's wondering what that is, think H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go into that. That one may take me a little bit, but I've got a lot of research to do on it. And I've got somebody that practices cosmicism. So I've got somebody that I can turn to, my mentor, to ask him about it and see. Then, like I said, y'all don't forget, we have a raffle going on. It's for a keychain. It's one of 4. The tickets are $1 a piece. They will be used to help pay for StreamYard Premium. That way me and Grim can constantly keep doing these Misfit lives and not run out of hours during the month. And I think it's $45, something 45 for premium for a month, I think, or something like that. So we're both disabled, we're both fixed incomes. We need some help being able to get StreamYard Premium go up and running so we can keep going. And keep making videos for y'all. Like I said, tickets are $1 a piece. My Cash App and my PayPal and all that information is the first thing in my community tab. So go check out my community tab here on my channel and find it. And if you're on my Facebook, I've also posted it over there on my Facebook. If we're not Facebook friends and you're wondering why, it's because my last Facebook got hacked. And I probably just didn't remember you to re-add you back. So send me a Facebook friend request and I will accept you. It's under Tabitha Tucker. Also, you can see the Cash App and the PayPal and my email running across the screen in the banner below. Always feel free to email me with anything. If you want to make a donation or a tip, we greatly appreciate it. It will greatly help me and Grim out. Um, Carla says she has an H.P. Lovecraft book and hadn't even started reading it yet. I need to get me some. That's my next goal. I'm going to be trying to borrow some from my mentor. That way I don't have to purchase them. Saves me money, fixed income and all.
His books were all about the occult of sorts. And one of my exes was really into Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Their comic book store, well, her mother's comic book store, is called Arkham Comics after Arkham City in H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, Batman Arkham Asylum is named after H.P. Lovecraft, the city.
Very true. And a lot of people don't know that.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. They don't understand. They don't know that, and it's like you gotta. He's really, when he was writing the books, he was really fucked up in the head. He wasn't on drugs. He was just mentally.
But he was also very, very intelligent.
Oh yeah, he was.
People don't give him enough credit. H.P. Lovecraft was very intelligent.
And the thing is that there have been a lot of games that people have done on H.P. Lovecraft movie. There's been a couple of movies as well, but mostly video games. And there's one that came out a couple of years ago that hit YouTube like a storm. Can't remember the name, but it was like a storm. You were a detective and you were going around trying to solve a missing persons.
Yeah. Well, everybody, it's time for us to go. Sorry to cut you off, Grim. I've got some stuff I gotta get done and some research. Love you all. See you next time. Bye.
Good night.